Before I get started with today's video, I'm going to let you know that me, my homie BK Spades, a new boy on the block, Ace McFly, and old man DeeMo, OG that I know, we got together, we did a Star Wars podcast, so I'm going to link that in the thingamabob below, so you can check that out. We did really good stuff. We covered a lot of base when it came to what we thought about the franchise, and I want to share it with you guys, so I'm going to link it down below. Check it out. Subscribe to my boy's channel, and yeah. Give them a like. I know you guys will enjoy it. Hello, residents. It's your boy, JB. Star Wars The Last Jedi is literally the most divisive thing in the entire fandom. And to be honest, I saw it in theaters when it first came out. And from beginning to end, I haven't seen it since. So, with The Rise of Skywalker coming out literally in a day, I took the time to rewatch The Last Jedi, and I'm gonna be honest, guys, I kind of liked it. To me, The Last Jedi is the worst movie in the franchise. But what about Luke? They killed Luke Skywalker. And who was Snoke? Snoke! You guys really need to calm down because it's really not that serious. Now, my grand internal issue with the Star Wars franchise is that a lot of the fan base is so divided because they feel that the movies should be what they think it should be. You see, like, the older generations, the guys who saw the original ones as it came out in theaters way back when, feel like it should fit a certain mold of what they think it should be. Then you have the people who grew alongside it with the prequels, and they think it should be what they think it should be. And you have these people who all came together, and now they're both mutually like, this isn't what it is. This is what it shouldn't be. Yet, here we are. Now, I grew up in a time where the original movies were revered and everybody was so excited about what the prequels were. And then people crapped all over the prequels. And you know what? Rightfully so, because not all of them were that great, to be honest. But they've gotten better with time. Time has been really kind to them. Kind of like how time was kind to The Empire Strikes Back, which is my favorite Star Wars movie. By the way, the finals of the movie tournament is going to be on Facebook tomorrow, so go ahead and check that out. I'm going to link it down below. But ultimately, the prequels are so crapped on that George Lucas sold off the franchise. You guys got what you wanted. And what I'm hearing these days is now you guys are wondering now, what's going on? George Lucas is turning in his vision. Y'all crapped on him to the point that he gave it up. I doubt he's like in a state of super caring right now because he sold his rights. He's a businessman. He knows what that means. And he knows what giving up your rights to your project means. But the fact of the matter is, you guys crapped all over him and now you're complaining about it. What he's doing then, it seems like there has to be a scapegoat for why Star Wars is not what you guys want it to be. And just get chill out and just enjoy the movie about space wizards. Now, I'm not here to put on my cape for The Last Jedi and defend like it's the best thing since sliced bread. It's not. But I'm not going to sit up here and pretend like there weren't things about the movie, like then and now rewatching it, that I didn't enjoy. Like, my biggest thing when I look at movies, when I look at stories, is how's the structure of the story, how are the characters. And as a narrative, I liked it. I mean, this got what you would expect after the fall of Starkiller Base in the last movie. The First Order came through, was like, yeah, we want the smoke. And that's how the movie starts. And then we had a good battle scene. And then we got Rey and Luke. And how everything flowed. Narratively, it was a tight, cohesive story. Now, it may not have hit in the same way you may not want it to hit, but it still landed. And if you take anything out, or if you alter anything about it, nothing makes sense. But the story as a whole, even though it's not the greatest, makes sense narratively. Characters-wise, and I'm not going to stay on this too long, I like what they did. I like the characters in these movies. Sue me. I like Rey. I like Finn. I like Poe. I really like Kylo Ren. I love everything they did with Kylo Ren in this movie. Straight up and down. I like Luke. I like the way his character turned out. I was a little iffy on the end, but I'll get to that in a little bit. I like Leia. I like Leia was like that auntie that you didn't want to disappoint. Even Yoda coming back for that brief period, I really enjoyed that. there weren't too many characters that I didn't enjoy. No, I did have them, and I'm going to get to that because I do have to cover the things I didn't like about this movie, because there were some things. But the way they did with some of the characters and how their direction was, I pretty much enjoyed. And from a standpoint of how they were, it makes sense. And that's pretty much all I got to say about some of them. Visually, this is a beautiful movie. If you look at the set pieces on the battle on Crate, the space battle above where the First Order came and got some smoke, and even the throne room battle, those are some beautiful set pieces. And I really like that throne room fight. Even though there's that one little editing error they made at the end with Rey and the Praetorian Guard missing his weapon, other than that, I really like that fight scene. It's one of my upper mid-tier Star Wars fights when it comes to lightsabers. I really enjoyed that fight. And even though I'm pretty split on Luke's death and how it happened, it was beautifully shot. And it was very meaningful, and it was very moving. I really appreciate those scenes, and I really like I like everything I mentioned. I like those things about this movie. It was well done. It was well executed, and it may not be everybody's favorite. It may not win style points for a lot of people, but it did tick boxes. And that's when you have a narrative that's tightly woven. You're hitting everything. You're hitting the checkpoints. Nothing is out of place. Everything makes sense. It's fine. I'm okay with it. But I'm gonna stop right there about what I did like. I gotta cover what I didn't like about the movie now. Admiral Holdo. God, that lady was such a dick. She was annoying to me, like full stop. All right, so I don't have any military experience, but I did ROTC, high school, wee bit in college, and I also played football for like half my life. So discipline is not a foreign concept to me. So I understand, like, when a ranking officer or your captain or your coach says, hey, just do this and shut up about it, then you do those things. I get it. I have no complaints there. But when you are in a position of leadership, because I've been in that too during my time with both of those, RTC and playing football, you have to be able to talk to your troops, to your people, because they're relying on you just as much as you're relying on them, and you need them to be at their peak morale wise and keep them abreast of what's going on situation wise, so they know what to do when the time comes. So Admiral Holdo keeping Poe in the dark and forcing him to kind of do the mutiny, yeah, he was out of line, but she was also out of line too. So just telling him, oh, well, he just gotta stay in line and stay the course and get out of my face and get at your post, it's like, bruh, come on. As a leader, come on, you can do better than that. I ain't gonna lie though, she did a thing with that hyperdrive thing. That was some heat. Another thing I didn't like about the movie was Rose. I just didn't like her character. I just don't. It is nothing against the actress personally. It's really not. It's just the character and her role in the film. It was just grating to me. She was just grating to me. Her stopping Finn from sacrificing himself, I would have been totally cool with Finn sacrificing himself, because it made sense for his character. He was a guy who kept on running, and didn't really have a stake in this. He just wanted to get away. He wanted him and Rey to get away, and that was his thing. And then he came to accept himself as a rebel. He accepted and came to accept himself for the cause. So him sacrificing himself for the cause made sense. So her stopping him from doing that because of her like infatuation with him, which wasn't even really there. I didn't really buy that. And yeah, she just annoyed me. She just really annoyed me. And if you really think about it, if you really want to put two and two together on that, I'm going to be that guy. I haven't heard this on the internet anywhere. I'm going to be that guy. Her stopping Finn from sacrificing himself, in a roundabout way, kind of helped kill Luke Skywalker. I said it. And then there's Snoke. I mean, I guess, generic big bad boss number 2. He didn't really bother me like that. I just was like, I was okay on him. And I don't have a problem with him dying either. I was shocked. Like, my entire theater was, at the time, was like shocked that he got killed, because he was kind of built up to be like the villain. And that's fine that he died, because, and I'm fine with a lot of the events that happened in the movie, because if you want to stick the landing in the third one, you have to go back and justify these things. These 3 movies, Force Awakens, Last Jedi, Rise of Skywalker, they tie into something. They're all tied to one overarching narrative. So things not so satisfying that you think may have been glossed over, or something that may not have been done well, maybe has a chance to get cleaned up in the next one. I don't know. I have to see it. And I really do feel like you have to judge the trilogy as a trilogy. And certain things, you have to watch certain things and know certain things with a certain lens. Like, I have this theory, and I've had this theory for a long time about it. I'll post it up in my next video. But watching these movies with that lens in mind kind of made the movies better for me. Thinking certain things. But I still need to watch The Rise of Skywalker to fill in those gaps. But on the overall, as a standalone movie, as part of this narrative, I didn't hate this movie. Like I said, they had things done well. They had certain things done not so well. I hated Canto Bight. I hated it. It was the most annoying, cringe thing to me, and that contributed greatly as to why I don't like Rose. I didn't like the DJ character either while I'm at it. He wasn't even the guy, yet he was the guy, and he sold him out, and I don't know. I just don't know. But this movie was just divisive, and that's the thing about this movie. And I think we just need to wait until this next movie comes out before we can kind of judge them all, and we find out the things that we've been wanting to know, and just how it all plays and how it all fits together. This is a puzzle, and we have to see how it fits together before we judge. Because honestly, though, these aren't worse than the prequels. Force Awakens, it's not worse than Attack of the Clones of the Phantom Menace. It's just not. For this next movie, they have to pull off quite a bit. I'll get into that in the next video, because I feel like this one's going on too long. And yeah, I just didn't hate this movie. Sorry. I know a lot of people are going to want to crucify me for that, because, you know, that's what the fandom does with a lot of people with this movie. This movie is like persona non grata. Not to me. Sorry. And ultimately, man, that's what's going to do it for me for this video. If you like what you see here, if you ever want to talk about what I said, you want to cover anything that I didn't want to cover, you can meet me down in the comments below in the thingamabob. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I'll link all those too. Like I said, I got the Facebook Star Wars movie tournament. The finals are tomorrow, so go ahead and just check that out as well. And please, 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 like, share, subscribe, hit the bell so you know when the next time I post a video up. And one more time for the one time, check out my boy BK Spades podcast, because we did work yesterday. And I really think if you're a Star Wars fan, we covered some varied topics. Like, we covered Jar Jar. We covered whether Anakin should have been a master or not. We covered whether or not Luke was right about the Jedi, the Last Jedi, or not. Like, we covered quite a bit. So check that out. It's a dope listen. And I'm not just saying that for me, but if you're a Star Wars fan, it's a dope listen. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, I am JB Smith. I've been your host for this. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Hey, yo, at some point, we got to talk about how BB-8 is a whole killing machine. Like, that droid got problems, yo.